Hey, 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 welcome back to the Passive Buddies podcast. And today we are covering an interesting topic. Some people will be pro X and some people will be pro Y. Why is cash flow more important than income? As usual, I am Brian Mills. I am your co host, and we've got Brandon to the left of me, who is also in here doing the podcast with us every single day. My intro fucked it up, but oh well. Welcome, pal. You okay?
I am doing amazing. And just to clarify, you are the host of the Passive Buddies podcast, and I am the co-host of the Passive Buddies podcast. And yes, the the intro was a little shaky, but this topic is gonna be spot on today. So I'm excited for you guys to be a part of this episode today. So without further ado, let's talk about some passive income and some why recurring income actually is better than regular just income.
Yeah, so guys, I apologize for the intro. At least I screw one up a week, I think, by the looks of it now. It seems to be a pattern. But as we say, like, you've got some people, and do you know what? This is probably a battle, and this is, if you're going to put two people in a boxing ring and put them a face, it'll be the high ticket sales guys will be in one corner, and then the recurring income guys will be in the other, and it's a case of who wins and why. Now, for a devil's advocate, let's put me and you in a boxing ring. Let's go. You can go recurring, and I can get my ass handed to me being the high ticket guy. Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it.
awesome. So, like, recurring income, you get paid less up front, correct?
Says who?
Well, 9 times out of 10, if you're selling something high ticket, you're selling something like 2K to 5K, and you'll get, say, $1,000 to $2,000 commission up front. Yeah. Okay. Right. So why would I want to take a recurring option than getting paid 2K?
Well, there are a few reasons. One, it's stability of the income is that with recurring you're going to keep continuously getting it. Obviously, people will fall off, but what a real business owners do is they continuously provide value. And I find that in most high ticket situations that are doing commission only are focused on their next sale versus continuously having to actually provide value. They run off and find their next deal because they're having to never take a day off. They're having to find new sales every single week so that they can afford their bills every single week. Versus recurring, we kind of just are able to build upon the previous month. So yeah, even though in the scheme of things, you're getting money up front, there are things like with a lot of these programs is the waiting for 30, 60, 90 days for make sure that you're not getting a refund. So they crawl that money back. Or two, there is a refund because they don't like the program, and then you don't, that 2K that you've collected is now 2K minus out of your bank because you just actually spent that money because you thought you were going to be actually having that money, but it got clawed back.
Okay, so what you're saying is because it's recurring, obviously, I'm going to find it really hard, obviously, to be the devil's advocate and the person.
No, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's reverse the rules. Let's reverse the rules then, because I can do high ticket and you can do recurring.
Okay, so a case of like, obviously, there's no guarantee you get a high ticket sale next week.
Right.
Yeah? So, for instance, when you flip it, like you need a steady amount. You need X amount to cover your bills each month, regardless.
Right.
Regardless of what you do, sell or thing, you need to have X amount coming into your account. Now, would you put that on the back of guaranteed high ticket sales where you start fresh every month, or would you rather have multiple recurring incomes that cover your wages, salary, risk, etc., as you don't start afresh? You don't start from zero every month.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, that's the goal, right? Like, that's the goal, to have that your recurring income to match your bills, because once that happens, you're essentially financially free because you have that recurring income coming in and your bills are a set amount. So once they're level, then you're kind of at net zero and everything else can be used to build your business or reinvest into income producing assets or travel or whatever the case might be. With us high ticket people, though, we we have to make sure that we are finding new leads all the time. We have to make sure that we're starting from zero, but also hitting those numbers. But we do have leads coming in. So even though the days come to zero, we might have some fresh people that are still there that I could sell. So it's not like I'm starting from zero. I still have, well, I am starting from zero. I just have still that fresh batch of leads that I could potentially sell to.
So if you were to quit your job and you've got two scenarios, you say your bills are 3K a month, okay, and you want to quit your job, would you rather take the higher percentage of chance of achieving 5K a month with a lot less effort, or work every day and potentially maybe get 10K if you're lucky?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the only way you can really scale a high ticket offer is if you start building systems and build teams and hire staff and do all these things. In the grand scheme of things, if you're a solo entrepreneur or someone who just doesn't want to build a big team but start being able to build a business that's sustainable, to build out your recurring income, then recurring income is the easiest solution because the systems are really easy. You can leverage software and all sorts of different things to build a recurring income. And subscribe to the podcast because we're going to be talking about how to build a recurring income business pretty soon. So you don't want to miss that. Definitely remember to subscribe because we're going to go deep on how we've done this in the past. And so being able to have that security of having a recurring income business, you can use software and everything to do that and leverage it, versus high ticket, you need to consistently find leads, consistently do lead generation, have closers. And the only really way to make it passive, where you're not having to continuously find leads and close deals, is hiring a team to do that for you, building out the sales team, building out the lead generation, and doing all these things, versus having a system where when you get to a certain point, you have that $5,000 coming in, you have that $10,000 coming in, you have that $1,000 a month, $100,000 a month coming in. And if you look at how, and I know you love ClickFunnels, so we'll use the ClickFunnels example, but if you look at how they send people up their value ladder and how the model is actually put together, is even though their low ticket offer, their mid ticket offer, and their high ticket offer are all like the sending model, what it does is pushes back down to the continuity program of using ClickFunnels. Like in order to their expert secrets is all about building brand awareness and lead generation, essentially. And in order to capture leads for your brand, then you need a brand funnel, and this is the brand funnel that you need to get. And then like the one funnel away, like let's get leads for your sale, but you need this ClickFunnels software to do that. And then if you join their 2 Comma Club award and you want to get the 2 Comma Club, you need to do that through this funnel because no other program offers a 2 Comma Club award. And so, all of it's pushing down to a continuity program because that's where real business makes their money, because Cashflow is the lifeblood of a company. And so even though all this information products and all these programs are, one-time payments, it's all pushing towards a continuity program so that you can build that recurring income.
And I think like from a point of it's cash flow versus income, isn't it, in terms of the podcast? And you are absolutely right in terms of because you ask any high ticket affiliate marketer, right? Okay, after you've made that sale and you've got that commission and they've come through, what's the next thing you give them? It's a software, it's a recurring product, which means they know, obviously, they're trying to get money up front, which is fine. Obviously, I've got nothing against high ticket people. I've done it and I still do it to this day. But every high ticket program within the training modules, obviously, you need an email autoresponder, you need a funnel builder, you need this, you need that. All push you to recurring model products because that is the thing that will actually set them free, not the high ticket sales. So when and you dodged the question beautifully before, and it took me 5 minutes to get back to it. When I said, would you, if your bills were 3, would you rather take 5K recurring every month or the potential to have 10? You dodged the question because I know you were trying to be the high ticket guy, but the answer is you would rather have 5K recurring, knowing that it replaced your salary, because that's the goal, isn't it? How do you replace a salary? Well, you create another one online passively.
Right.
And that's the difference. So it's all about creating that cash flow. Like if you sign up to a high ticket affiliate marketing product, or if you create a high ticket product, on the back end, you want to be getting recurring income, because that is the stuff that creates it. You know, every single month, you've got that money coming in, and that can be put to X, Y, or Z. Exactly the same with your salary. Okay, it's not about your income; it's always about your cash flow. Can you afford the bills that are coming out? Okay, so if you get paid, say you get paid at the end of the month in your day job, like 5K, and but you've got bills coming out in the middle of the month, and you've spent that 5K by the time you get to the 10th, because that's what people do, because that's people aren't used to having money in their account, so they just drive it down subconsciously, so it's zero, because that's where you are subconsciously comfortable from a bank account perspective. So from a cash flow perspective, it doesn't work, does it? Because you've got that paid lump sum, your high ticket income, which is your salary for the month. Like you've got that 5K come in, and it's like, right, well, now I've got bills coming out all month, and I've spent it because that's what we do. And income isn't actually the winner. When you look at, well, actually, if you've got cash flow coming in each week from different things on a daily basis, you're never going to worry about your bills, are you? Because you know there's always money coming in. And that's why people prefer to be paid weekly than monthly, because of that sort of scenario. It's cash flow rather than income.
Yeah. And I mean, if you know, and we're going to be talking about this in another podcast, like should you go into debt to build a business or build a recurrent, to learn or take training or whatever. And it's going to be there's going to be some, I think, some interesting topics going down. So definitely don't miss that. But I think that if you know that you have, say for instance, and we'll touch on the subject a little bit, but if you can use the money now and go into debt and be able to get money or take a profit before, say, your bill hits, and you know that recurring income is coming in, it can pay that off sooner before you even see the profit that you invested. So what I mean by that is you're able to use that money, go into debt, but you know you already have recurring income coming in, and say you paid on the 10th, instead of having to wait till the 20th, because that's when you know that recurring income coming in, you can start on the 10th and essentially use the recurring income to pay that off from the actual profits that you make. So like what I mean by this is I can take and refinance a property, go into debt, take that money out, buy real estate, and buy another property that's making me money, or buy another business that's building me recurring income, or set another program that's starting to build me recurring income, and pay the debt off with the money that I've made, versus actually having to have that money in hand. And so that's why I love debt, but we'll go into the disadvantages and advantages of that in a later podcast. But yeah, I think that if you can use recurring income, you can start things a lot quicker, because you know that that debt's going to be paid, because you know that money's coming in, versus having to have an income where it's kind of just like you said, a one-off payment, or you need to make a sale to make that next payment.
And as you say, like that's the thing, isn't it? Like if you know, and that's why people love salaries, isn't it? Because they know it's a guaranteed, right? This is what I'm getting at the end of the month. If you can create a business model that actually does that, then when you come away from the day job, the salary, you can actually go, well, actually, I've replaced it with another consistent form that I don't have to work 40 hours a week for. And that's sort of the replacement you want, isn't it? Replace the salary and then build on it. And in order to leave your job, but it's that consistency people want, because that's what people are used to. People are used to salaries every month coming in, obviously, unless they lose the job. If you can get recurring income to replace that salary and then some, it's never going to be a scary thought when you do move across and start concentrating on your business full time.
Well, I'll give you a perfect example. So when I was a personal trainer, I was training my clients. And when I would go on holiday, I think you call it, or vacation, I would essentially not be training my clients, so I'd be not making any money. And so my salary was essentially gone. So a lot of people do when they own their own business is they create a nice little desk job for themselves. And that's what I did is I had clients in the morning, clients in the evening, and all my clients were my bosses. And so if I didn't show up to work, I didn't get paid. And not only that, but I would have to go on vacation, not have to go on vacation. I would go on vacation, want to go on vacation, but I was also spending the money. So not only was I was getting double tapped essentially. That's kind of what a salary is when you work hourly or
Contractor.
Contractor. If you don't put in the work, you're not getting paid for it. And so, in doing so, like I created a nice little desk job. Versus now, in this year, like I've been on 9 vacations this year. We've been to like California 3 times, Mexico twice, Hawaii, all sorts of different. We have 2 more vacations coming up, and I don't have to like I can go on these vacations and I still have money coming in. And so it's more like a salary, but I don't need to like report to anyone essentially because we have tools or training or a community that people use as a leverage point. They're buying into that versus buying into me or buying into my time. And in doing so, I can leverage something else to give the same result, but without me having to be there. And that's the difference between having something that's recurring income versus having like a salary or something is it's the leverage point. The leverage point is your time or a software or something that you can use to leverage instead and take yourself out of the picture so that you can continuously grow that wealth or that recurring program or that leverage point.
I think that pretty much sums it up, to be fair, buddy. So guys, what I am going to sort of plug in right now is if you are looking at building cash flow recurring income, then 100% go to the top link in the description, whether it's Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, and go and sign up to our 90-day cash flow challenge. It is literally $1 to sign up, and you get that trial for 30 days, and we can teach you how to build cash flow that actually gets you to quit your job. So that will be the top link in the description.
Yeah, and it just reminds me, I'll end it on this. I actually just heard this on the last podcast that I just did before jumping on here with Passive Buddies. I don't know if it's Robert Kiyosaki who says it, but essentially there's 2 men that are working in a village, and one of the villagers would walk to the river and grab a bowl of water and then sell it to the villagers to shower, clean dishes, drink, whatever, and would have to go back and forth every single day. And they could only make a few runs every single day because obviously it's just himself. And then another villager was able to not sell anything, just work, put in the time, put in the effort, and built a irrigation system into the village. So the water was flowing from pipes to the actual village itself, and he could just turn on and off the water when he saw fit. So the cash or the flow was he was able to sell the villagers water at any time and just turn on the nozzle, and he was making money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to use his service, versus the other villager who was using his time to go back and forth to the river to collect water. There's only so many hours in the day that he could put in that time, versus the villager who set up the irrigation and the systems in place was running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he consistently has money coming in. So just a bit of a difference, versus if the villager got sick, he can no longer get water going back and forth. So it's just a different in perspective. I thought that was a cool little analogy.
Absolutely love it, guys. So if you've enjoyed the episode, please let us know. Please like, comment, and let us know whether you've enjoyed it or not. Don't forget to check the $1 trial on the Cashflow challenge below, and we will see you in the next episode.
Peace.